Hello again, welcome back to Two Cracks TV. Thanks for joining me today. Let's get straight into it. Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6. Now, I'm not going to go into the specs or any fancy fresh out of the box scenarios. There's plenty of those on YouTube already. But what's it like after owning this for just over a year now? Well, let's start with the battery life. When I first set it up straight out of the box, I enabled the maximum battery protect, whereby it will only charge it to 80%. This was fine for about the first 7 or 8 months. It was getting me through a full day, and that is unplugging it from charge around 7:30 AM. I'd go to work, go to the gym afterwards, come home about 7 PM, and I'd still have about 15 maybe 20% when I got home. And then it wasn't okay after about 7 or 8 months, having to put it on charge either in my office or in the car, which become a little bit tedious. So I've ended up turning off the battery protect, charging it to 100%, and that's now getting me through the day. So the battery's okay. I mean, the no Nokia 3310, those days are well gone, aren't they? The battery's been okay, but I think it's fair to say there's been some battery degradation in that time. What about performance? Well, blazing fast. Snapdragon Gen 3 fingerprint sensor is really quick. I haven't noticed any real stuttering, lagging or crashes within the apps, not as I can remember anyway. The only couple of issues I should mention is when video recording is one. At times I can barely get about 30 seconds until it just stops recording, and then the front of the front screen here is absolutely mad hot. At times I've gotten up to about 5 minutes, absolute maximum, until it shuts down, which got to the point where I just stopped using it. It just wasn't worth it. It was really annoying. I even tried switching it from 4K down to full HD, but that didn't really make a difference. So that's something to be aware of. I assume it's something to do with the thermal management. It's only a very thin phone. It's got 2 screens. I suppose there's only so much they can do with the vapor chambers, etc. The other problem I've had is every now and again it'll just lock the screen, and that normally happens when I'm on Google Chrome. If I'm just browsing articles, it'll just suddenly go to the lock screen as if I've pressed the lock button, which I haven't. It's not too much of an annoyance. I think it's happened around 10, maybe 15 times while I've had it. Touch wood, it hasn't done it in a couple of weeks now, but it's something to be aware of. But overall, the performance is fantastic. It just seems to get out of its own way and does its job. What about durability? And we'll start with the hinge. The hinge is fantastic. It's great, excuse me. It's still really smooth. When I first got the phone, you know, you kind of, is it going to break on me the first day or something like that? You know, is it flimsy like you read? But then you grow more confident with it. It feels really solid, and the outer casing's holding up really well. There's just a few blemishes underneath the cover screen, but to be fair, I think that's because I've been using a cheap pretend carbon fibre job from Temu. Don't do it, by the way. But other than that, it's holding up really well. The only one complaint I've got, and it's really bugged me, this is the bezels around the screen. Just turn the screen off there. The bezels are starting to peel off. I don't know if you can see that there. I'm just trying to get it in the right light. You might not be able to see it on this, but I can assure you that the bezels are peeling away for some reason, and that's really disappointing from Samsung. I've had a lot of the products over the years. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? You can see where it's peeling off, where it's shiny, and that is getting progressively worse. And I'm disappointed because it's £1,000 phone. I don't expect the bezels to be wearing away like that, and it just takes away from that premium experience. It just makes the phone look a bit tatty. Putting that aside, it does seem to be holding up okay. Now would I buy it again? I'd think twice now, to be honest, and only because of that peeling bezel. And you might say it's just aesthetics, it doesn't affect the operation of the phone, but it's £1,000. I expect it to be more or less pristine after a year. Considering I've had it in the case, I haven't dropped it, I haven't banged it about, I'm expecting a little bit more. And would or should you buy one in 2025? Well, if you can find one cheap, second hand, or you can find a really cheap contract deal, and that's bearing in mind the Z Flip 7's out now, maybe go for it. Otherwise, I'd probably look at the Z Flip 7. Hopefully they've addressed some of the issues with the thermal management and the peeler bezel, or maybe it's just me with the peeler bezel, I don't know. But overall, I don't want it to come across as kind of scathing, slating overview. It's been fine for the most part, it hasn't let me down. So there you go. Let me know what you think in the comments, please. Have you had an issue with that peeler bezel? Yes, I'm OCD. Thanks for watching, as always. If you found this useful, give me a like. If you like the content, consider subscribing. I'll see you.